Subscribe to MTL World at Middle World 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2, Origin Continent. Volume 9, Advancing Through the Darkness. Chapter 20 358 Perfection Part 1. 20th of Volume 9. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. The Xuanhuan prisoner lay at the end of the massive ravine, staring in disbelief at the black-robed, black-haired man who had appeared in the distance. How can a lowly practitioner within the cage possess such strength? The Xuanhuan prisoner could hardly believe it. Then, it sensed that the sealing power infiltrating its flesh, soul, and life core had suddenly loosened slightly. Even that slight release allowed a portion of the Xuanhuan prisoner's original, vast power to break free from the seal, immediately boosting its strength. The energy surged through its body, and its chest fully recovered to its original state. Those two guardians of the Dark Holy Realm have loosened some of the restrictions. Among high-level Xuanhuan lifeforms, this Xuanhuan prisoner was a powerful entity. Naturally, it wasn't foolish and instantly guessed the Guardians' intent. They planned to use me to temper this practitioner. Haha. He is already this powerful even before jumping out of the cage. This practitioner's talent and potential are terrifying. Indeed worthy of the Guardians' efforts. Hatred boiled in the Xuanhuan prisoner's heart. If I get the chance, I must kill this practitioner completely. At that time, the two Guardians would be furious, perhaps they will be even punished by the higher-ups of the practitioner camp. The Xuanhuan prisoner saw no hope of survival for itself now. And at this moment, all it wanted was to take vengeance on the practitioners. If this practitioner possesses a clone technique, I won't stand a chance. But according to my information, most practitioners within the cage don't have clone techniques. I need to find an opportunity, one fatal strike to destroy this genius practitioner, the Xuanhuan prisoner thought. The lava prisoner seethed. The two guardians were using it as a tool, but even tools can bite back. These prisoners were born in the Xuanhuan lifeform camp who are our mortal enemies. Now that they are imprisoned, they're naturally filled with hatred. From high above, Chugo observed the scene. The stronger its hatred, the greater the threat it will possess to Luo Feng. Luo Feng's path also grants him an especially massive lifeform physique. Even if the Xuanhuan prisoner can gravely wound Luo Feng, the odds of killing even one of Luo Feng's clones are slim. Yi Feiya smiled faintly. Even if this first clone is truly destroyed, it may actually be a good thing. It would likely push Luo Feng further. They hoped this battle would help Luo Feng break through. Boom. From a rift in the heavens and earth, Luo Feng's figure suddenly flashed near the Xuanhuan prisoner, raising his arm like a blade. The power of life and destruction cleaved through all obstacles, even slicing through the fabric of space itself. So fast. The Xuanhuan prisoner, unable to fly due to its seal and moving slowly, could only slightly twist its body to take the blow on its shoulder. The Xuanhuan prisoner's body sank deep into the ground like a stake, most of its bulk submerged, with only its chest and above still visible. Ha ha ha. The Xuanhuan prisoner grinned, revealing rows of jagged, interlocking teeth like a jungle of blades. He is becoming stronger. Luo Feng immediately noticed. Previously, his first palm strike had sent the Xuanhuan prisoner flying effortlessly. But now, this fiercer slash had been completely withstood without injury. Practitioner, your strength is lacking. The Xuanhuan prisoner sneered at Luo Feng. If my powers weren't sealed, I could have crushed you with a finger. As it spoke, 8 arms suddenly extended from its body, launching a simultaneous attack. But Luo Feng vanished like a phantom mirage. I'm too slow. The Xuanhuan prisoner frowned. Chains of illusion penetrated its entire body, slowing every movement. Even with the 8 arms, it couldn't touch the practitioner. The cycle of life and destruction. In an instant, with a roar, over 10 images of Luo Feng appeared around the lava prisoner, flanking it on all sides, even above its head, each launching an attack. Whether it was palm techniques, fist techniques, or claw techniques. Every technique demonstrated mastery of the semi-Xuanhuan level Tao of life and destruction. Luo Feng used his own arms to block, link one attack to another, even stacking the power of preceding strikes into following ones. His attacks resembled the cycle of life and death, where the vitality grew stronger, while destructive energy became increasingly terrifying. In the blink of an eye, Luo Feng had launched tens of thousands of strikes. Each of those tens of thousands of strikes gave Luo Feng immense satisfaction. Every move drew on 1.2 billion times the power of his body. Under such extreme exertion, his control over his physique continued to improve. The Xuanhuan prisoner's attacks were too slow, unable to touch even a single hair of Luo Feng. In a blink, it had taken tens of thousands of strikes. Each of those strikes carried the power of heaven and earth. Boom. PFF'd. Molten blood spewed from the Xuanhuan prisoner's mouth. Its body was covered in dense wounds, but they vanished as soon as the lava flowed over them. Your attacks are too weak. The Hunyuan prisoner ignored the trickling blood and looked at Luo Feng. You've struck me over 35,000 times, this is all the damage. I'm already healed. Huff. Luo Feng's figure flickered and a long, gray-blue spear appeared in his hand. This long gray-blue spear was one of the many Tao of life and death treasures Luo Feng had purchased after arriving in the Dark Holy Realm. With Luo Feng's current realm, especially after studying the void-severing blade, he could now unlock more of the spear's hidden power. Boom. As Luo Feng thrust the spear forward, it trembled slightly, secret rune patterns lighting up along its shaft. A terrifying force surged forth, as if it could pierce anything. Even the Hunyuan prisoner was startled. The spear had already pierced its chest. Despite its towering and incredibly thick body, the spear drove halfway through it. Then, in a flash, Luo Feng withdrew it only to stab again a second time into the Hunyuan prisoner's body. But during the second thrust, an invisible force within the Hunyuan prisoner's body hindered Luo Feng from pulling out the long spear. You can't escape. Two of the Hunyuan prisoner's arms immediately grabbed the shaft of the spear. It is more troublesome to kill you in close combat. Luo Feng's figure swiftly retreated into the distance, not even attempting to retrieve the spear. Instead, he smiled faintly. In the next moment, an endless blood sea surged forth, sweeping across the vast surrounding heaven and earth. At the far edge of the blood sea, there were two formation diagrams and a black tower. Luo Feng activated these three life and death Tao treasures, 3 of over a dozen he had acquired in the Dark Holy Realm. They were most suitable to coordinate for the formation with his immortal blood sea. The triple-layered formation, empowered by these treasures, was currently Luo Feng's strongest, blood sea grand formation. Boom. As the blood sea churned, the towering figure of the Hunyuan prisoner was engulfed, further restrained by layer upon layer of formations. Under the life and death blood sea grand formation, the Hunyuan prisoner felt tightly bound. Its 8 arms could barely move, and it could only exert about 20 to 30% of its power. Damn. How is this practitioner has such a huge body, even though he hasn't transcended the cage? Such terrifying energy reserves, he's already approaching the level of some of the high-level Hunyuan lifeforms. The Hunyuan prisoner panicked. Though it was an elite among high-level Hunyuan beings, its power was sealed. Under such suppression and against Luo Feng wielding multiple treasures, it had no means to resist at all. My life and destruction Tao focuses on life as primary and destruction as secondary. Thus, it still lacks close combat powers somewhat, Luo Feng thought. Relying on treasures and array formations to bring out the advantages of a life form, this is already my current strongest state. The Hunyuan prisoner had been in the Dark Holy Realm for over 100 epochs. It had once attracted hordes of practitioners, but none could defeat it, and over time, fewer even dared approach it. Now, only about 1,000 practitioners remained nearby. It's God Emperor Luo Feng. God Emperor Luo Feng has made his move. That Hunyuan prisoner is heavily wounded with just one palm strike. Excitement rippled through the spectators as they observed the battle. Finally, a practitioner can overpower this Hunyuan prisoner in one-on-one. Such incredible formation techniques. They watched intently. At this moment, the endless blood sea array enveloped the Hunyuan prisoner. Though it struggled within the formation, its resistance had clearly weakened significantly. Back then, even though Longju Daojun coordinated with over 10,000 practitioners to form a formation, they couldn't even threaten this Hunyuan prisoner. Even when over 100,000 practitioners attacked together, they posed no real threat to it. God Emperor Luo Feng, by himself, can suppress this Hunyuan prisoner. Is he stronger than tens of thousands of practitioners combined? In all the recorded history of the Dark Holy Realm, even invincible realm beings haven't reached such a terrifying level. These distant practitioners were discussing the 3 cultivation paths of invincible realm beings. In all history, no practitioner of the semi-Hunyuan fusion path had emerged, only the first 2 more common routes had ever appeared. Only by having one spiritual will breaking free from the cage and unlocking the full potential of a world-class Hunyuan bloodline could such a practitioner arise. Compared to that, Luo Feng's presence far surpassed the grandeur of those 2 types of invincible realm beings. What they didn't know was that Luo Feng was an anomaly even among fusion path practitioners. He did not pursue balance between life and destruction. Instead, he followed the extreme path of Star Tower blood scale, pushing the limits of lifeform evolution. Though this also increased difficulty significantly, it also yielded far greater power. The Hunyuan prisoner kept sinking into the endless blood sea. Its resistance continued to weaken until it suddenly saw a massive cauldron appear in the sea. The lid of the cauldron had long since opened. Not good. The Hunyuan prisoner knew things were turning dire, but by now, it could no longer resist. Seal. Under the suppression of the formation array, the Hunyuan prisoner was sucked directly into the cauldron. The lid snapped shut in an instant. Among the dozen-plus life and destruction Dao treasures Luo Feng had acquired, this cauldron was the strongest. The endless blood sea returned to stillness. Luo Feng sat cross-legged atop the blood sea cauldron, staring at the cauldron's surface emerging from the sea. The cauldron glowed deep green with intricate dark blue secret patterns entwining the lid and body under Luo Feng's control. Swish, inside the cauldron, the Xuanhuan prisoner's body was being refined, its molten essence boiling. This practitioner is too troublesome to deal with. The Xuanhuan prisoner had planned to conceal some of its strength and launch a surprise killing blow at the right moment. But within the Blood Sea formation, it couldn't unleash its power at all. Before it realized what was happening, it had already fallen into the cauldron. We'll have to increase the Xuanhuan prisoner's strength further, said Yi Feiya from high above, frowning. Indeed, it doesn't pose as threats to Luo Feng at all. But if it improves further, it will pose the risk of soul pollution. Chu Zhe replied. As long as we completely seal its soul, even if a bit of power leaks out, the contamination will be limited, Yi Feiya said. Chu Zhe nodded. Soul pollution is the most dangerous. But minor power leakage isn't a big issue. This Luo Feng is too strong. I chose the Xuanhuan prisoner with the most powerful physique, yet I'm still forced to release its true power just to resist. Chu Zhe held a talisman and carefully released a bit more of the seal. This time, the released seal had crossed a certain threshold. The Xuanhuan prisoner would now unleash a sliver of its true essence from the level of a high-level Xuanhuan lifeform. Even with just a sliver, it was still high-level Xuanhuan lifeform's power. This power was already contaminating to God Emperors. Luo Feng, sitting cross-legged atop the Blood Sea cauldron and controlling it to refine the Xuanhuan prisoner. At this moment, he suddenly sensed a sharp increase in resistance and struggle from within the cauldron. End of chapter. Subscribe to MTL World at Mittel World 1 YouTube channel.